Nidos en la lucha no nos moverán como un árbol firme junto al río. No nos moverán. Last time. No, no, no nos moverán. No, no, no nos moverán como un árbol firme junto al río. No nos moverán. Thank you, thank you. This next one is called Resilience, something we all use all the time.
Mind. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me, sorry.
California as opposed to Reverend
Sorry, right between you.
Alright, this is our last one. It is called This Is What Democracy Looks Like. Let's show.
Look at the size of this crowd. Right in front of you. Right in front of you.
Just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering, just in case you're wondering. Hey, hey, look this way. This is what democracy looks like.
I'm sorry.
What democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like.
Thank you, everybody. This is here at Peace and Justice Square, and we meet every Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. at Westminster Presbyterian. Thank you for all being here and having us.
Taco. Look at the size of this crowd.
Anyway,
So let me pass this on because I think
what did she do?
Hello, everyone. Are y'all ready for some good trouble? A little bit louder. Are y'all ready for some good trouble? I want to take a second here to thank you all for being here today. For showing up and for standing in solidarity with our immigrant families, for standing in solidarity with our labor families, for standing in solidarity with our community, and for saying, we are ready to get into some good trouble. Let me hear y'all. So, what exactly is good trouble? You know, I was with my kids earlier, they saw the word trouble. They're like, what is that? I'm like, well, sometimes we as adults plan to get into some good stuff. And here today, I am so happy to be setting an example for them because they're here for them to see me getting involved in some amazing trouble. And thank you guys for joining me in that. So, good trouble is the moral obligation to challenge injustice. As the late Congressman John Lewis said, never ever be afraid to make noise. And get into trouble. Good trouble. Well, I see.
That's right.
Does not work for us. I want to hear you say it. The status quo does not work for us. Fascism is silent and obedience. When you hear people are being deported, when you hear they're raiding people's jobs, when you hear they're cutting Medicaid, when you hear they're cutting SNAP, when you hear they're cutting Medicare, if we stay silent, what we are saying is all that stuff is okay. Is that stuff okay? Is that stuff okay? So not only I want to hear your voice loud and clear here, but I want to continue to hear your voice loud and clear on the streets. I want to continue to hear your voice loud and clear when it's time to organize. I want to continue your voice loud and clear when it's time to show up for policy making. I want to hear your voice loud and clear because none of this is okay. Am I right? Good trouble is rooted in love and justice. Okay? So don't let anyone tell you if you decide to get into some good trouble that you are breaking the rules, that you are hating, that if you don't say the right things. Because at the end of the day, good trouble is found in love and justice and purpose. So movements were born when people like yourself said, you know what? Enough is enough. When people like myself say, enough is enough. When we as a collective decide, we are not gonna take it anymore. That is when movement starts, okay? Rosa Parks wasn't just tired. You know that, right? She wasn't just a tired individual who just wanted to take a sip. That wasn't the case. She was very strategic in her movement. The civil rights movement wasn't polite. There was nothing polite about the civil rights movement, guys. The civil rights movement was disrupted, and we must be bold enough. We must be bold enough to challenge the rules.
Can't tell if this guy's like here to disrupt or here to join. It's probably a disruptor.
That is not protecting our brothers, that is not protecting our sisters, that is not protecting our siblings. We must be together. Are we together here? So good trouble means fighting suppression at every level. We cannot ignore suppression anymore. We cannot ignore fascism. We cannot ignore hate in our community. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Silence helps the oppressor, not the oppressed. That is why in labor we organize. That is why we mobilize. And I am here to tell y'all, if we engage together like we engage here today, if we organize together like we organize here today, if we mobilize together like we mobilize here today, we are unstoppable. And they can't touch us, and that is what they're afraid of. That is why they're splitting us apart. That is why they're separating us. That is why every day you hear something different. But I am here to tell them, we are gonna fight, we are gonna organize, and we are gonna mobilize. And come this year and sometime next year, right? These people have spent their life here. These people have jobs here. These folks have children. They have families. They just have a whole life here. But this is something that they're getting ready to go through. But let me be clear. We are the generation that doesn't look the other way. We are the people that says, no, you cannot do this here. We are the people that said, we don't go for racism. We are the people that said, we don't go for the bigotry. We are the people that said, we don't go for the Zionism. We are the people that said, enough is enough. We're gonna fight, and we're gonna fight, and we're not gonna stop. Because when we fight, when we fight, when we fight, when we fight. So, thank you all so much. I'm gonna finish my course after this. But we have a great list of speakers for you all. And if speakers are here, I would just ask you all kind of like line up over here on the stage, so like you all can go after each other, so I can keep coming back up here if they introduce you all. So without further ado, our first speaker, some of you may know him, he's been on the community for a very long time, and he actually does work on a national level. That is Reverend Porter with the National Action Network. Dr. Porter, you mind coming over here, brother?
As long as you don't interrupt the speaker. Oh, okay.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's say it again. Good afternoon. For the introduction. My name is Dr. Porter, and I'm proud to stand here today as the president of the National Action Network Sacramento chapter. I'm also the leadership of Reverend Sharpton, and I'm also the senior pastor of the Genesis Church in South Sacramento. I got one, thank you. But beyond my titles, I am honored to stand before you as a voice for justice, a witness to hope, and a vessel of truth, committed to carrying forward a legacy of the late great Congressman John Lewis. Can we give it up for his legacy? Today, on the anniversary of his passing, we gather not just to remember his life, but to recommit to the movement. Congressman Lewis challenged us when he said, get in good trouble, necessary trouble, and help redeem the soul of America. And so here we are, getting into good trouble. Can somebody say good trouble? Good trouble. Not chaos, not confusion, but purposeful, moral, and necessary trouble. Confronts injustice and declares boldly, the people still have power. To make noise, but we came to make change. Who came to make change on today? We stand against every voter suppression bill, every attempt to criminalize protests. We stand against every policy designed to steal our voice and strip away our dignity. We stand against, from the SAVE Act to the signing courts, from book bans to ballot box blockades, and especially that big, bad, ugly bill. We see it all, and we will not be silent. They said, we will not be silent. Say it, we will not be silent. Let me be clear. In this nation built on the blood and sweat of the oppressed, power does not belong to the few, but it belongs to the people. Not to Trump, not to tyranny, not to fear, but to us, the people. And we are the people. resurrection. We're not just reacting, but we are rebuilding. We're picking up the torch that John Lewis carried through Selma. We're marching with the strength of our ancestors and the faith of our future. And we are here to say Sacramento and California will not sit back while democracy is being dismantled. So I say to every leader, every neighbor, every young person, every old, don't just watch history, but make it. Don't just admire John Lewis, live like him. Get into good trouble. Speak up, organize, vote, march, and fight with faith. Say it, fight with faith, fight with faith. Say it again, fight with faith. And as we do, I leave you with these words from Galatians 6 and 9. It says, let us not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. How many believe that on today? So listen, Sacramento, and everyone else, don't grow weary, stay in the fight, and let good trouble live on through us. God bless you.
So our next speaker is California Assembly Member Maggie Krell.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. Defund Planned Parenthood to punish women who have the audacity to want to control our own bodies? Is that about health? Is that about safety? What about when they cut federal jobs? Does that make us safer? No! Just ask the survivors of the flood in Care, Texas. This administration has failed in every single possible way. They've failed on public safety, they've failed on healthcare, they've failed on the economy, and they're failing us. And what do we do when we're failed by our government? Here in a democracy, we vote them out. So let's get ready to do that. 2026, midterms. 2028, new president. But we can't wait till then. We have to fight and we have to raise our voices every single day. Look, I was at the immigration courthouse just a few hours ago, trying to check out what's going on, trying to find out what's happening to these people that got detained. And I saw this little waiting room where there's a shelf and a glass box with books. These are children's books for kids to read while their parents, waiting for their parents to do their immigration checks. It reminded me the last time I was in one of these helping somebody with their asylum case. I remember going outside with a boy so that he could look at books like that, so that he wouldn't have to hear his mom describe the abuses that she suffered and the certain fate she was sent back with him to Honduras. But guess what?
The crowd is so thick over there, I can't even walk. I have to film from here because there's so many people. I can't even walk over there.
Trying to disappear them without due process, without safety. Can we stand for this? Can we stand for this? Hell no! That's why we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting, and we're going to keep making trouble. I'll tell you something. I've been in the legislature now for about 6 months. One of the things I'm already doing is that labor, we don't lose. Okay? So we need to follow their lead so we can start winning elections. And what they've been talking about this whole time is exactly what the American people are crying out for. Good paying jobs. for. And that's what we're going to fight for. And that's what we're going to win. Because when we fight, thank you, Sacramento, we're not giving up.
Because we believe. We believe that the circumstances that we are currently in are not permanent circumstances. We are here today to honor John Lewis. And I want to talk about John Lewis because so many of us, you know, I'm middle-aged now, so, you know, those of us who were not around during the Civil Rights Movement, think about John Lewis as Congressman John Lewis. But John Lewis was 25 at the March on Selma. He was a member of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. He was one of the people just like us, upset about the conditions that were being faced and taking important action. And so I am so glad to see so many faces in this crowd today because we are history. And we are standing up and saying, this is not the way things will be. We are standing up today to say that the future is better. We are standing up today to say that more is possible. We can do so much better than not just Cajun parents, but there are children who are also being ripped from their families and taken to Texas and alone without even legal representation or facing judges and being asked to do things that no child should do. We have to remember that so much of what's happening right now is not just the big picture things we see on the news, but it's also the stuff that is so chaotic right now that doesn't even sometimes make the news. We have an obligation to do what's right because the time is always right to do what's right. And what that means for us right now is that we certainly show up and do it. But it also means taking those actions right now to be able to stand when you have some freedom, when you have something that someone else doesn't, and looking to your neighbors and taking care of them. Because we help each other. That is how we can.
Everybody said hi over there.
We can't fight with one another right now. We have to fight the powers that are trying to destroy democracy, that are trying to further destroy the very freedoms that we fought for, that are trying to intimidate us and make us scared to stand out and do the right thing. So in every single action, when we are asked, who would we be in history, that question is, who are we today? And the answer is that we are not standing by silently, assuming that somebody else is going to do it. We are the people, and we are going to make the changes we need. So that involves making sure that we're involved locally as well. There are ways that we can push back and resist right here in California, right here in Sacramento, and we need to do that. Because the truth is that this fight that is happening at the federal level is also happening here. We're talking about banning people who have nowhere to go sitting outside. We're talking about right now not protecting and standing up to communities. We're talking about taking away some of the progress we've made on equity because we're afraid of what the federal government's going to do to us. Again, when we ask ourselves who we would be in history, it's who we are right now. So we need to fight. Fight in the organizations you work for. Fight in the community you live in. Continue to fight. Because it is true that when we fight, the win doesn't always happen immediately. We have to remember that we can't just say, oh, we fought one time and it didn't work out. We got to go lick our wounds, dust ourselves up, and get right back out there. This is a long fight. It is going to take us time to not just claw back what we had, but also to build what we were trying to build and what we should have been building from the time that this country was founded. And we didn't do it. We missed the mark. So I don't want anybody in this audience to think that if you don't have a specific title, that if you don't have a certain amount of money, that you don't have the power to do something. Because each and every one of the people who have been part of the history of this country started out being just the same as any one of us. People who cared, people who showed up, and people who were committed. And so that's my charge to you today, is to remind yourself, even in the darkest hours, that more is possible. Even when you are feeling down about it and lost, to remember to keep fighting. To remember to get in good trouble, necessary. That you don't have to have anything special to be a leader and to serve. And so that's what we need right now.
That's enough for now.